What's up, everybody? I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
And you're listening to a post-Memorial Day first summer episode of Liquid Kernedge. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much, dude. I'm ready to party like John Gotti, baby.
All right, that's a new one. Party like John Gotti.
Oh,
Are we going to party mafia style, like red
We're
wine and Italian food?
Yeah, I don't know whether that means like you're going to party like you're going to shoot people up, or if it just means you're going to party like John Gotti because it rhymes.
Does party and John Gotti rhyme, or did you say potty and John Gotti?
Well, yeah, you're right. It was dumb. It was a Bush League move. I'm gonna get dinged on the review this week.
I'll give you credit for trying. I mean, it made me think twice about it, but I don't think John Gotti was a partier.
How about like Thanksgiving? How's that?
I'll give you that.
Okay, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
Man. Speaking of John Gotti, though, a fun fact: his number one enforcer, Sammy the Bull Gravano, was arrested in Phoenix many years ago when I was in school down there. Actually, we're living right across from me, across the street on Mill Avenue, in a little subdivision for selling party drugs. So, just to kind of bring that little anecdote full circle, there you go.
Wow,
and the knowledge banks for you.
Hey, I have a little something in my knowledge bank. My aunt was an uncle, so he'd have balls.
That's true.
That was a good one too.
That was a good one too. All right, so we're off to a stellar start here on Liquid Kernedge. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in this week. Like I said, this is our post-Memorial Day official start of the summer season. It was a very busy weekend for you because you were moving.
Yeah, we started the moving in process, and we've got now our pool now. It's cold, but it's clean. So now we can go swimming. We have the guest bedroom is now set up so people can come down here in the house. We won't live with them. We still have to live in our apartment, but they to stay.
So what you're saying is now is the perfect opportunity to stay at your house because it literally is just an Airbnb.
Yeah. We have the digital lock on the front door so we can assign you code and you can Airbnb all day long.
Ooh, that's fancy as fuck right there.
Yeah. Now, it comes down, we'll have to over and help us with a couple of the heavier items.
Oh, I'd love to help you, but I have a strict no moving in Phoenix during the summer rule.
Wow. I
mean, it's nothing personal. It's just business. I've done it a couple of times for myself, and I'm not gonna lie, pay someone to do it.
That's one of those hidden rules that you have to be a true friend to ask to move someone during the summer in Phoenix, huh?
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
and I'll be honest, if you did ask, we would make the time to come down there and do it because we want to hang out in the pool too and maybe catch a ball game. But, if you guys are going to take care of that before we get down there, we're not going to be rude and try to get in your way.
Okay. All right. I'll try to get as much food as I possibly beforehand.
Well, yeah, I think all of us that want to come visit would appreciate that.
That would be good. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, the summer is my friend. And so now I went to a Memorial Day barbecue. Yesterday, and it was, even though it was cold and feel like summer had begun. I mean, they had barbecue ribs and they had chicken and I mean, they had so much food, so good, and I just ate like 2 helpings of it. It was great.
See, that's the cool thing is, last Saturday was really the only nice weekend day of the long weekend for us because Thursday and Friday were cold and windy. Then Saturday was just gorgeous, the high of the mid-80s. And Sunday and Monday were just terrible. So we managed to have our barbecue on Saturday, hung out by the pool. We worked really hard to get the heater going. And I smoked a brisket for the first time. And that was a 3-day labor of love for me. And to me, that's what barbecuing is all about. That is something I will definitely do again, but with chicken and ribs next time too.
Oh, it was so good. And like I said, there are certain things that just remind you of a time in your life or something going on. And when I had that barbecue and all the, people were having, beer and they were talking and laughing. And I thought that's just like epitome of starting the summer, man. It was so awesome.
It's those long summer nights because the days get longer and it stays warmer out and you can go out and hang out. And you don't feel like, for me, it's like during the winter time and the fall, when it starts getting darker out earlier, I want to be home. I want to be inside. I don't even want to think about it. But come late spring and into the summer, I'm great being out till 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night on a work night because I got stuff to do, man. It's nice out. Let's enjoy the weather.
Yeah, there's so many things about the summer that just the weather's warmer, and people, are usually vacationing during the summer when it's a warmer weather, and everyone's having usually some sort of, whether it's Memorial Day or 4th of July or then Labor Day. That 3-month period is just basically a bunch of just days to have a good time and barbecue.
I think so. Now, I know you have your own 4th of July traditions.
Yes.
With you're watching the Thomas Jefferson, the Patriot, and We Were Men, or We Were Soldiers.
No, I don't watch that one. I usually just do Thomas Jefferson and the Patriot.
Okay.
I used to think, oh, maybe I'll add Independence too, but nah.
They didn't get around to it.
Yeah.
And as most people that know me know, that I have to watch Jaws and the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on ESPN.
And isn't the 4th of July also the one where Jason watches all the Friday the 13th?
No, that's just on a Friday the 13th. Any given Friday the 13th.
Any given Friday the 13th. Okay. I wasn't sure. All those traditions.
Yeah, then my gym always does a CrossFit workout called the 1776, which is a bunch of different movements as a team. So we do that. That's become a tradition of mine over the last couple of years. This year that I would start a Memorial Day weekend tradition for myself, because it's a long weekend. I usually take Friday off, so I've got a 4-day weekend. I figured that this year I was going to start by watching some war movies like you did. I had myself a Sylvester Stallone type weekend, and I topped it off with my new tradition of watching 12 Strong. Did you see that when I was out in the theaters, or have you caught that on HBO yet?
Yes, 12 Strong. That's the one of the Afghans where they're fighting off the invasion. Oh no, it's Benghazi.
No, it was you were right. It was right after 9/11. It was the tip of the spear of the American forces that went in to take on the Taliban after 9/11. Chris Hemsworth. They were the cavalry essentially. They had to get horses from the Northern Alliance and ride in by horse to take out the Taliban.
Wow.
Rex is a really good movie. It's a really powerful movie. I didn't realize it until I watched it. When it came out in the theaters, I just looked at it as one of those based on a true story, quote unquote, war movies. But it was very good.
Now, for those of you who listened to the podcast for the whole 2 years, you realize and remember that we actually did a podcast called Summer Movies 2017.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, remember those? Man, now I'm starting to date myself because we had one. We used to do podcasts that were specific to the time that we were doing them.
Yeah.
Then we realized that
rookie mistakes.
But now we're past that, and now we're doing basically, every show is a new show, a new discussion, a new thing to focus on.
Yeah. And to point that out, I do want to recognize, because our EP will ding me on this, I'm not supposed to point out that this is a post-Memorial Day show, so I do apologize for that, Tom.
So what do you think, if you were to Americans, what do you think is most symbolic of the summer? Like what activity or what day or what person, or what do you think is most symbolic of the summer? Like if you were to ask 100 people.
Oh, I think you'd have to go with barbecuing or going to the beach, baseball, just things like that. Things that keep people out and about, active,
Yeah, baseball, I think there is something to be said about going, especially if you go to one of those stadiums where it's outside.
Yeah.
Like Wrigley Field or Fenway Park, where you get the hot dog and the beer, popcorn, peanut. A baseball game. There's something to be said about just relaxing during the summer that more than any other one, right?
I completely agree.
Like you got spring cleaning, like you hibernated all winter, so now in spring you're doing a lot of cleaning, you're going through old clothes, then you've got fall where you're basically
it's hunting season.
It's basically now I got to get ready for the winter because winter is coming. Yeah. Summer seems to be the one time of year where it's relaxing and having fun.
Yeah, I think so too. For me, it's a time when my job slows down a little bit, so I can take that time and go enjoy the mountains or take a lake day or go hang out by the pool and not feel so bad, because it's just it's almost too hot to do anything with the public, so we don't do a lot with the public. So I kind of appreciate that after 10 years.
Well, and let's be honest, it's also when we have class reunions, and it's also when you have family. and it's usually when people like to go on vacation because they're getting some warm weather. Everything about summer is just the best.
The kids are out of school too. Not that it's a problem for us, but that helps people plan around their summer activities too. I'm sure because kids don't have to worry about missing school.
Now, when you were a kid, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, summer was when I went to I went and did things away from my parents. Did your childhood lead you to be able to do stuff during the summer like that was away from your parents, and you kind of got that feeling of, oh, I'm an adult, I get to do my own thing?
It's funny. We did go to Boy Scout camp every year, and my brother and I were lucky enough to go up there. My dad was the camp ranger for years, up at the Camp Levy that we went to. And so he helped run the program, and my grandpa ran the commissary, the little camp store up there. So even before we were Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts, we got to go up there and hang out. So I know we look forward to every summer going up to Camp Levy for that week. And that was always late July or early August. And it was always so much fun for us because the monsoons would be up there. We'd have the campfires and tell the skits. And, as we got older, we became, the Boy Scouts that got to do that with them. Even though our dad and grandpa were still there, we still got to kind of be independent. And that was really just neat for us.
Yeah. And then you hung out with your friends and stuff and just enjoyed the time.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a good time. It was memories that I'll always take with me. And they just recently shut down that camp. So it was kind of sad to see, but.
Oh, they shut it down. Why'd they shut it down?
Just the roads are getting worse to get to it, and nobody wanted to claim it to take care of it. So they just shut it down, and funding is always an issue in today's world. So, it was unfortunate, but it will always mark a place of good memories for me.
Yeah. Maybe this is the time in the podcast where you can do our social media plug.
I was just getting ready for that. I was gonna ask our listeners to tell us what your favorite summer memories were, or what your favorite summer activities are. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all at Liquid Kernedge. And if you want to take a gander, or take a guess, I should say, at what Tom's favorite summer activities are, hit him up on Twitter and Instagram at liquid_EP.
Yeah, we in Alaska, obviously there's a lot of camping activities, all the time, but a lot of times the trips for us were a group of us would be chaperoned by either a church or by a teacher group, and they had a ferry system that kind of traveled between all the little communities in Southeast Alaska. And so what they would do is they would, you'd start signing up in the April, May, and then in June, your parents would pay a few bucks to get you basically a pass on the boat to take you to some area of Southeast Alaska, and then it would just be a big camp. It was just so much fun. All those times you hang out with kids and just, do goofy stuff. And, you had no cares in the world at that point. At least I didn't have any cares in the world in my life at that point. So but some of the fondest memories of my summer were, spending a couple during the summer doing things like that, like going outside and camping and sharing time with friends. And
well, that's what it was for my brother and I too, especially growing up at the Boy Scouts. We were very active in that, and as we got to troop leadership, where my brother and I were taking over the leadership roles as kids, you got to plan camp outs. You started looking forward to those things. Getting to go to the mountains to camp and just taking those long weekends and lake trips and then pool parties and stuff like that. You're right, when you don't have a care in the world. On the other side of that, though, my grandma was very active in the Cancer Society here in town and helping anybody that she met. So I spent a lot of my childhood helping her move beds and commodes and wheelchairs and walkers for people that had cancer or were just too sick to get them on their own. So we were also manual labor for
and the hard part for me is that while I love the summertime because of the weather, when you live in Alaska, you just become accustomed to fall and winter and the colder weather, wetter weather. So a lot of my first couple summers here in Phoenix or in Arizona, because I didn't like the sun. I hated sitting out by a pool and just getting burned. It was so hot. So I had to remember my summer experience had to do more with it wasn't freezing cold and there wasn't snow on the ground. It was about the only 2-month time where the sun was actually, but even when the sun was going, it was only like 70 degrees. So, so I've had to become more accustomed to enjoying the sit out by a pool and just take in some sun, or, you know, sit under a shade. And even though it's 100 degrees, you're going to jump in the pool, chill out or cool off when you get done.
Yeah, you know, it's funny for me because the way my job goes now, my months get broken down into just little like mile markers, so I know how far I had, or how close I am to finishing out what I need to do for the month. So I don't really see the seasons anymore, and that's been my issue for a long time with my job. Is I quit seeing seasons, I just started seeing events, whether it be a race or a golf tournament, things I was working on, and I knew when it was summertime it was golf season for me, so I was working on my golf tournament and whatnot, but that never deterred me from still taking time to go up to like Williams and hang out. Because for me, we spent a lot of our childhood going camping up there too as a family. That was a lot of our vacations. It was either doing that or going to see my aunt up in Boulder, Colorado. So I always enjoy getting up there, even to this day. Well, you know that. To just go up there and hang out, just enjoy the
Do you think that there's
and relax?
I mean, I've always been the type of person that I just thrive on new experience, you know, getting something new, seeing something else. But that people, the idea of doing the same thing every year is so attractive because it's comfortable and it's known. And it's, I mean, do you think that most people like the idea of being able to just say, I'm doing the same thing I do every year. It's a tradition, and I just feel comfortable with doing that same thing?
I think if you do it to an extent, if you don't use it as a crutch, I think it's fine. I think if there's certain things you do, you know, maybe because you have small children, or it's just the only chance you have with your friends to get together and do something, I think you should embrace it and do it, you know. But clinging to that, to a tradition, or calling something a tradition just to say it is, so it gets you out of doing other things or expanding your horizons, is kind of,
well, we were in South Carolina, and the
know?
place we were at has a ton of timeshares. And my understanding of this place is there's a lot of golf there. So elderly people who love to play golf, they go to the Hilton Head, South Carolina, and there's, you know, they spend 2 or 3 weeks, just all they do is play golf. All they do is play golf. But we ran into more and more people who said, we come here every year. I've been coming here with my family for 30 plus years. And I thought, wow, man, going 30 plus years. Yeah. It seems like a foreign concept to me, but a lot of people thrive on that sense of, I'm doing the same thing. This is my summer tradition. This is what I like to do.
I think if it's just one of your traditions, if you make an effort to go and do other things out in the world, and not just your vacation is going to Hilton Head, you're going to spend a week in Hilton Head, but you have a week over in California, or you're going to see what's going on upstate New York. You're going to take a trip to Spain. I think that's fine to always have that comforting feeling of coming back to Hilton Head, but to just do that every year and only that,
it's bush league.
It's bush league. It's kind of
like it'd be like, I don't know, someone going to Country Thunder or something every year or something, you know, something crazy like that, you know.
Yeah. Someone that invites the two hosts of the show, but tells us,
yeah,
we need
basically,
to find
hey, I'd love you to come as long as you find your own place.
It'd be really cool.
I know, I get it. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. It is what it is. I get it.
I mean, yeah.
It is what
that's going to be a definite mark on the show. It is what it is. It is, you know, you accept the fact that some people just love those traditions, and if you know when that stuff is, or those events are, and you can make them, that's great. But you know, you can't plan your life around it. For myself, I know it's like running the Tillman down in Tempe. JP and I have pretty much resigned ourselves to the fact that you will never be in town for that, because you'll always take a vacation.
And Scott has we will
never see you when we come down to Phoenix.
Rule. I'll invite you twice. I won't invite a third time. That's Scott's rule. You hold, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Except when you guys need a place to stay, then it's like, hey, I'm not inviting you to the run, but can we stay at your house? Hey, you don't want to blow up. You don't want to blow up Air Mattress every time.
Yes, the spare room looks like it.
Oh, okay, so he's a good host. He's a good host.
Not totally. I mean, he is a good host. I mean, yeah, so it looks like a kill room. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, you get used to it. It's got a certain.
You know, speaking of charm, I just thought of another thing that reminds me of summer. Watermelon, man. People love friggin' watermelon, right? They eat that watermelon and they have like the eating contests, and I think it's just something like, you know what it's almost like? In winter, everyone kind of sticks to themselves. In summer, everyone wants to socialize.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's got a lot to do with it too. I'm definitely more social in the summer. I spend a lot of time in the winter, like you said, just keeping to myself, watching movies, staying home.
Well, and maybe that's just, you know, it's our natural tendency to slow down during the wintertime when it's colder because we don't do as well in the wintertime as we do in the summer. Why, bears, they hibernate during the winter as well.
I agree. That's definitely a possibility. I know for a fact that I enjoyed the idea of summer coming because to me, I'm a big sports fan. I think you know that. Even though I'm an Arizona fan, die hard across the board. Suns, Diamondbacks, Cardinals. I do split time between the Coyotes and the Golden Knights because I am closer to the Knights geographically. But I do watch them both and pay attention to both. But come playoff time, man, when the Suns aren't in there, I'll be a Golden State fan. I'm not even ashamed to admit that. I'll bandwagon that thing all day because they're fun to watch. And I enjoy June because it's the Stanley Cup and it's the NBA Finals. And for me, that's if you're a sports fan, you have to appreciate that. And after that, when that finishes, that means you're only a month away from training camp for football.
Exactly. And you still have the whole summer, so you have day games and you have, like I said, all the things that make summer so awesome. You have that. That's when the summer movies come out. This is like your movie time. All the good action thrillers and all the big movies start coming out in the summer. I mean,
and you know what the funny thing about that is? We were talking about this the other day at our barbecue. Aside from Rocket Man, which comes out this coming weekend, the Elton John story, and Spider-Man in July, there's nothing I really want to see. Maybe The Lion King. But aside from that, there's nothing that's like, oh my God.
Yeah, well, and so now we're going to have to fill our attention with other things to do. Fill our minds with other things to do and see, and if we don't
I'll probably read to the deaf and sing to the blind or something. I don't know.
You,
I'll
buddy.
I
love it, man. I love it.
I'll figure something out. I always do.
Yeah, and when you're out with your friends, I remember when I was a senior in Alaska, the sun would rotate so that it never really got quite dark. It would just be dusky. It would be like dusk, but you could still see. We played football at 2:00 in the morning, and it seems like the summer, because of the longer hours, you're right, we do stay a little bit longer and we do more things, and so summer, man, this is it.
Yeah, for me, it's funny because come wintertime, when the sun goes down at 6:00, I'll sit here in my dining room or my kitchen. I'll eat my dinner and watch whatever on TV for a little bit. But if it's pitch black at 7, my body's like, all right, it's time to go to bed. Just go to bed. And I'll hang out in my room the rest of the night. Here, this time of year, I'm at least like in my garage doing stuff in my backyard. I'm taking advantage of the extra light because I don't want to feel like, I'm going to bed like an old man.
No, I sometimes feel like I do more outside activities during the summer too. I mean, I know that goes without saying, but I feel like I want to do more, outside activities. Like I want to, go do a little bit more hiking, even though the heat is horrible for it. It's when I want to do more hiking and do that, or I want to play golf more. And
no, I get that completely. It's like, it's the time, especially out here in the Southwest. It's the time to be outside. And if you're from Arizona like I am, after a certain while,
exactly.
Hot's just hot. It doesn't make a difference. You just 110, 115, whatever, man. Just put on more sunscreen.
Okay, so what is your summer drink of choice?
Overexert yourself. Man, we try to change it up every year.
Really?
I don't drink a lot of beer anymore, but it's hard.
Well, I leave for a year and a half.
I'm trying to cut back on that.
Man goes away from beer. What's this world coming to, man?
Yeah, no, I will tell you at the Memorial Day barbecue, like I said, I spent 3 days making this brisket, and I had some friends call it, say, hey, what do you need us to bring? And we were going to make Texas Twinkies, which are basically jalapeno poppers stuffed with cream cheese and brisket wrapped in bacon and grilled. So I told them I needed the cream cheese, and I needed to try, or I needed them to bring the strawberry lemonade,
Natty Light, baby.
Natty Light. For something, exactly, for something I saw. I thought I saw it on Facebook, and I'll make a drink out of it. Just one of those. I'll try. I need this. Get this for me. And mostly, I just wanted to try it, but I didn't want to be seen buying it. So it worked out, man. So we've got like 24 of those beers left.
Now, where'd you do your barbecue this year? Oh,
we went to our buddy JP's house. He has the pool. He's got a TV out back for baseball, and it's just kind of the right party house. It's nice to just kind of hang out and just watch the world go by there. We spent the entire weekend or Friday basically working to get his pool up from 60 degrees up to 85.
How'd you do it?
Day, and we were able to do it. He fixed the heater, and just by miracle of heating up his hot tub,
Oh,
dumping
wow.
water like that. It was the whole
mine
thing.
was
But it
cold. I mean, I got in it,
done.
but it was cold. But they said though that come next week it should be in the high 70s and then only go up from there. So I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, they're predicting our weather being the mid 90s by this time next week.
Mm-hmm.
So his pool should start getting warmer real quick. Which is a shame. I can't use it for the month because I do go in for a tattoo session next week. So you're not supposed to be in the water for 3 to 4 weeks after that.
Good
So
Lord. So you
shut
decided
down for
so
June.
your summer project to be get a new tattoo. No.
Yeah, it's going to be some art. It's going to
Well,
be some
have
art.
you
I'm pretty
decided what you're
excited
going to
for that.
get?
So we'll see what happens. You know, I've talked to the artist about the concepts, and he's supposed to gets me some concepts of it before we go in there, before I go under the needle, if it were. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what he has and what he wants to do. And I've been looking at his art on Instagram, and I'm fairly confident that this guy's going to blow it out of the water. He looks like a genuine artist.
Okay, because I know that you like Josh a lot, and I know he moved, so he's not there anymore. But I know you like Josh. Well, my drink of choice is sangria. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I love a good.
You know, I was thinking about trying that out this summer, trying sangria, but I've also been on.
Oh, that sounds good too. You can't go wrong with a good bourbon, man. Oh gosh,
it is just. Yeah, dude, it is a smooth Southern relaxation drink. But next week I'm also going to Chef Fest down in Laughlin, and for those that don't know, Chef Fest is basically it's my Super Bowl. All the restaurants down in Laughlin get together at the Aquarius, and they put on like their A-level cuisine for everyone to sample. And this year's theme is the Caribbean. So, you know, that's going to be a lot of sea bass and shrimp and coconut and mango and, you know, probably
chicken and rice Jamaica, too. Like they do that great. Chicken and rice. Oh, God, it's good. Oh, my goodness, I love that.
Yeah. I'm really excited to get to that. I cannot wait for that.
Is your mouth already watering?
Man, I can't say enough good things about the stuff they do down there. It is. That's why I'm stammering right now, because I'm thinking about that. Like, I want the Caribbean cuisine.
Yeah, we don't have anything going on this summer except we have a Rob Thomas concert in the end of June, and then I'm probably going to schedule a trip to go see my mom up in Vegas and maybe take her to a show. I like to every 6 months just do something for her, and summertime now, so she'll have a chance to enjoy the hot weather because she loves that, and so I'm gonna try to do something. So, like I said, summer is just a magical time of year, man.
It is, and I'd ask you about our drunk history episode. We're supposed to do it at the Bully Street Barbers in downtown Kingman, but I know how busy your schedule is and how you just
that's true.
Town
that's true, but it's not you.
So
it's not you. It's me.
I mean,
it's not you. It's me. It's not you. It's me.
It's not us. It's not us. It's you. Yeah. So we're just gonna.
No. I've already ran it up the flagpole with Noreen. I told her that I'm gonna probably do just the guys go up to Kingman and spend the weekend. Well, okay, just don't bother coming back. So, other than that,
Oh, that's fine. Well, I know a spare room you can use down in Tempe. It might be a little bit closer to your work, and yeah, it's an air mattress and it's kind of a kill room, but it's not too bad. You can learn.
I slept in my car before. I can do it again. I can do it again.
That's true. You might consider sleeping in your car.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I'll definitely sleep there instead of the kill room at Scott's house, huh? Or at Tom's house. Yeah. That's funny.
Tom's house.
Oh gosh, you got me all excited now. I want to go do something now.
So, right? So I'll tell you what, it's almost the end of the show. So here's what we're going to do. I want all of our fans, all of our listeners out there, all 4 of you, maybe 5 by now. I don't know. I'd like to think we're growing. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all at Liquid Kernedge. And like I said, tell us about your summer plans. Tell us about your summer traditions. We want to hear about it. And if you want to roast Tom about something like we do on this show, hit him up at liquid_EP on Twitter and Instagram.
People are going to do that too. They love our EP, man. They love our EP.
I know. They do. Our friend Jenna Marshall always, she never posts on there very often, but she does text us occasionally when one of our episodes hit home with her. So we do appreciate that, Jenna. And I'm hoping that Janelle up in Montana, who's an avid listener and often posts for us, is enjoying.
Well, I want to do a shout out to Jenna Marshall too, because she had posted on whatever social media thing that Dax Shepard, I guess, responded or liked something that she put on her social media page. So just a shout out. Hey, you reach people.
Yeah, and if she can ask her friend Dax
Yeah.
to give us a plug, well, that'd be really great.
Hey, I was this close to getting Hassan
having
Reddick
friends
on the
that
show.
know friends.
I mean, we're
that's it, man.
plugging
I'm
it.
still
We're
working
trying.
on
So
Ron
you can get
Wolfley,
Dax
so-
Shepard, Jenna. Game on, sister. In fact, if you work your cards right, maybe we can coordinate a meeting too.
Yeah, exactly.
So Jenna can meet Dax Shepard and we can do a live recording. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, that would be game over for all of us then.
All right. Well, hey, go enjoy your
All right, buddy. Why don't you
sangria
take us
or your
home?
bourbon and sweet tea, and let's kick this summer off. Thanks for listening, everybody. That was Scott. I am Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Kernedge.